What's up, everybody? I'm Lockouts, and in this video, I'm telling you what, bro, Havoc Demon Hunter, this dude is a monster. He is a beast, and he will absolutely delete you. I will anyways, playing one. Check this out.
Take your mouse and click the button, won't you subscribe to me? Lockouts providing the content that you see. I'm visually stimulating your mind. We're
Getting right into it. I'll make this short and sweet. We're going to cover the talents first so that we can get into the Azerite talent pieces of gear and your best corruption gear and all that other good stuff right after this. All right, we're going to try to make this video as short and sweet and to the point as we could possibly get. All right, for best single target PvP build, for rating, for anything like that, demonic appetite for your level 99 trait is going to be your go-to. You're going to run Fellblade if you're having a problem closing your targets in PvP and arena and stuff like that. Blind Fury, you could run this talent if you're with a monstrous mythic group and you have crazy guys that could do awesome amounts of single target, because when you run Blind Fury, you're going to fall real hard behind on single target, but you can cleave really hard with Blind Fury. But if you want my go-to and you want the best talent that's in this, it's going to be demonic appetite, and we'll go over this as we go down through the list for the reasons why we're going to pair these talents with these traits the way that we do. All right, for the level 100 talent, we're going to run Immolation Aura. This is going to be your go-to. The only other time that you run Demon's Blades is if you are running Fellblade, and that is going to be for arena. This is a complete RNG build. If you try to run this in PvE, you're going to find yourself hella Fury starved at times. Even in PvP and running it in arena, you're going to find yourself hella Fury starved at times, but it does have the potential to proc very high sustained single target, or not sustained, very high burst damage for single target if you are running arena. Again, it is completely RNG. You don't have a lot of control over this build. You just get close to them, hope your auto attacks generate enough fury for you to be able to hit Chaos Strike. The key what Demon Hunter is, guys, is the more that you do damage, the more that you heal. So the more that you're able to hit your target, the more that you're going to heal yourself. All right, for the level 102 talent, we're going to run Trail of Ruin. This is your go-to right here. Fell Mastery, it's really trash. It increases your Fell Rush damage by 100%. It's not recommended. Fell Barrage is on a 1-minute CD, does 7,400 chaos damage to anybody that is within 8 yards of you. So you have to have all these ads or enemies, if you're in a battleground, pulled within 8 yards of you for this to actually hit them, and then you got to wait another minute. There's no other way for you to really cool it down. Trail of Ruin, this one right here puts a bleed on your target for the last hit of your blade dance. It makes them bleed for 11,000 over 4 seconds. This right here will be your number 1, 2, or 3 damage as you are playing Demon Hunter, if you pair it right with their head, shoulder, or chest AZ talents and traits. We'll go over that as we move along. Number 104, for your 104 talent, we're going to run Nether or Soul Rending here. The reason that we run Soul Rending is because you get 10% increased leech, and then when you're in meta, you get another 10% increased leech. So every time you are in meta, you won't die. Like, I tank dungeons in Heroic and Mythic Zeros and Havoc and stuff like that, guys, and you stay in meta, man, long enough and you just do crazy amounts of heals. I could heal for crazy amounts in Havoc as long as I could proc off enough soul shards, right? Desperate Instincts, this one's bad. We don't even need to cover it. Nether Walk, the only time that you're really going to run Nether Walk is if you are, say, in bursting or necrotic dungeons and you have a healer that is, you know, unable to help you out. You can do Nether Walk, and this will mitigate some damage. Or in arena, if you know that you're about to be focused from whatever comp that you are about to run, and you know that they are going to go you, running Nether Walk will make them force them to hard switch during their burst to another target that they're not set up on, and this will just help you further mitigate damage and help you try to help your healer out while you guys are in arena. Otherwise, the go-to talent here is going to be Soul Rending. Check the talents, check the traits or check the ranks, leaderboards of anybody. Almost every Demon Hunter runs 104 Soul Rending. For 106, First Blood, this is going to be your go-to right here. The only time that you would be running Dark Slash is if you theoretically could set up for dueling somebody and you could hit them 1 or 2 times and try to 100 them for a video or something like that. You'll never be able to do this in any other scenario, any other way, any other time to use Dark Slash. It's kind of useless because, I mean, it's on a 20-second cooldown. It makes your Chaos Strike hit harder for 8 seconds. That's cool if you can I-beam and you have a full Fury bar and you could spam it for 8 seconds, so you'll get about 4 hits for 40% more damage on your Chaos Strike. It's really not that much of a it's not that good of a talent, let's put it like that. Now, if you pair this and you have 40 stacks, like you can see right here, all I have for my thirsting blades, you pair this all together and you can try to one-shot people and make a video out of it and put it on YouTube and say, hey, look, I set this all up and I got everything to proc just right, and in one button push, I was able to 100 somebody. That's the only time that you would ever do that. Oh, excuse me. Now, First Blood, this is going to be your go-to right here. It reduces the fury cost of Blade Dance by 20, increases the damage it does to the first target that you hit by 2,900. This is going to be your go-to. Pairing this with Trail of Ruin, along with one revolving blades that's in your shoulder, head, or chest. That's going to be an AZ trait. We'll move into that right after this. That's going to be the best way that you're going to be able to run your Demon Hunter. For your 108, my go-to is Fell Eruption. This gives you a ranged off stun. That way, if you have a Boomy or a Mistweaver or Windwalker or Mage or anything like that that can get away from you and is kiting you, this will be able to stun them. This will also give you a ranged off stun. So if you're focusing stuff that's in arena, you could stun the healer and try to get a kill when they're low. Or, you know, peel for your heals and get a DPS off of one of your heals or something like that. It's just your go-to. Now, you can run Master of the Glaive. This will throw your rotation off. It'll make it feel wonky because you get 2 charges of it. This will just give a slow to like a Boomy or a Druid, a Resto Druid, or again a Mage, or a Windwalker, or a Mistweaver Monk, something like that that could range you. Shamans also, when they go, you know, Spectral Wolf and they're running around, they're hard to slow a lot. So this could help you theoretically for them. I'd still rather run Fell Eruption in my preference though, because I get the ranged off stun that could be a filler in my rotation, or I could, you know, get that off stun for a kill or a peel, depending on what the scenario is. It works great in PVE also as a filler, depending on if something's far away and you're frozen or slowed down somewhere, you can still hit an ad with this, right? And your go-to for 110 is going to be Demonic. I-Beam causes you to transform into meta every time that you I-Beam, so every time you I-Beam, you get a free meta for 8 seconds after it finishes. So if you were to go into a mythic dungeon, you would want to I-Beam and then Metamorphosis. That way you get a full 30-second channel of it. Then they'll start the key. Key will start in about 8 or 9 seconds after they insert the key, and you get about 20 seconds of a free meta before you do the first pull that's in Mythic Dungeons, all right? Also, this is just your go-to because every time that you are going to I-Beam, you're going to get your Azerite talents and traits to kick in, which are going to give you haste benefits and bonuses and stuff like that, all right? So this just pairs nicely with the way that Demon Hunter plays. The only other time that you're going to run Momentum is just bad. We won't even need to talk about it. Nemesis, this is when you're going to try to do that theoretical one-shot. You're going to use Dark Slash with Nemesis. You pop your Nemesis on them, and you get everything all built up, and you try to hit them one time, and, you know, hopefully do enough damage to where you could either barely touch them again and it was like an auto attack that killed them, so you in one button push you killed the guy, right? And you try to do the actual 100 to 0 in one button push. It's theoretically you can pull it off if you have the right talents and traits and everything procs right. There are other guys that have pulled it off and have caught it on YouTube, but like I said, it's moving into PvP talents and traits. Gladiator's Medallion at all times. Run Gladiator's Medallion. If you have an auto trinket on there and say a rogue saps you and you burn it, you're useless after that. You have no way to defend yourself. There's sometimes you want to sit whatever CC it is that you're in, and then there'll be times that you actually want to get out of a CC so that you can get a kill or whatever it is, or get away from a kill. You want to have control of your trinket at all times. The next one is going to be something that you guys could switch out. Solitude. You guys could change this one up for Mana Rift if you're running an arena and you're having a hard time killing healers and you guys are starting to get into dampening and stuff like that. If you're not able to burst them down, you can run Mana Rift and hopefully you'll burn mana and stuff like that off of them so that you could eventually wear them down and get the kill in the end, right? Switching Solitude out for Mana Rift or Detainment. Detainment is a good one if you're running double DPS or if you're running 3s or something like that and you want to lock somebody out. It forces them, if they have a trinket, to use a trinket, and if they don't have one, they have to absolutely sit in it no matter how much DPS it is it's done to them, all right? Detainment is good. The ones that I don't ever switch out, guys, is Demonic Origins. This reduces the cooldown of your meta by 2 minutes, but only lasts 15 seconds, but you're metamorphosing all the time because every time you I-Beam, you get into a meta. So you get you know, your I-beam metamorphosis, and then every time that you have your natural meta, you have that happening too, 2 minutes faster, but instead of it lasting 30 seconds, it lasts 15. No big deal, all right? The next thing that we're going to get into is going to be Rain from Above. This talent, I get a lot of controversy over it, but a lot of people love it and a lot of people don't like it. So it just depends, honestly, on how you want to play your Demon Hunter. Me, I keep it in there. I use this offensively more than I do defensively. If you use this defensively, a guy that's below you, when you pop it because you were low and you jumped up in the air, they're just going to stand there, wait for you to come back down, and they're going to absolutely delete you. So trying to use this when you're low, I understand I understand the reason why you're doing it. I do it too, but you're probably going to die when you're low unless that target is already low and it's not a rogue that's going to pop smoke cloud or something like that, or they don't LOS you. If they are low, you will kill them with fell lance when you rain from above and you are low. But if you use this offensively, like coming out of an I-beam, so you have a full haste benefit from it, you'll be able to get more fell lances off. If you run Solitude with Rain from Above, so you would I-beam, jump up in the air, you would Solitude would engage, so you would get 10% more increased tag speed, and then you would be able to get about 2 or 3 more fell lances off. I count sometimes 13 fell lance casts when I start getting into my target, and you think of it like this. 13 fell lance cast, guys, at 40,000 damage each, you're doing almost over 500,000 damage to them. You can 100 a guy, 100 to 0 them. If they don't know what they're doing, or if they're slipping, or if they get caught, locked out, or whatever it is, Rain from Above will delete somebody. So absolutely use this cooldown, Rain from Above. Use this offensively. Stop using it defensively. Use it defensively as an, oh shit, I'm only about to live for about 3 to 5 more seconds, so I'm gonna hurry up and try to kill my target. But if you use this spell offensively, I'm telling you, it will change your rotation and how you feel about it, and you will be up in the air going, fell dance, baby, hell yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll be counting how many times you hit your target, and that dude will be running from you and popping cooldowns, so that when you do come down from there, you've pulled all his CDs out of him from Rain from Above. So irregardless of if you don't kill them, you're still going to make them, that rogue, pop cloud. You're going to still make somebody have to try to use a sap or some kind of something to try to stop you, or they're going to have to run from you like crazy. And I'm telling you, this thing right here is OP. And if you use it correctly, dude, you will hurt somebody real friggin' bad. You'll laugh. You'll get a giggle out of it. So try it. Another thing that you guys could be switching like Solitude out with, guys, is like reverse magic. So if you don't want to run Rain from Above for whatever reason, so if you were running like a double rogue and you knew that you probably weren't going to be able to get Rain from Above off because you were in arena, this would be where you would be running like reverse magic, because it's like rogue mage, you know, rogue mage druid, rogue mage priest, or like god comp or something like that with locks and stuff. You'd be running reverse magic so that you can get out of them ice blocks and ice novas and stuff that mages put on you, and slows and all kinds of other shit. This will take whatever spells on you, put it back on them, and hopefully, you know, you'll be able to get within hitting distance or melee distance of your target so that you can hit them. Another thing that you guys can run is Cover of Darkness. This is great for 2s. So if you're trying to peel for your heals, or if something's dumping on you, you can pop Cover of Darkness, and this will just help you further mitigate more damage. It's help for you and your healer, or helping your healer out so that you guys can live, all right? Moving right along now, guys, into the AZ talents and traits. The one thing that you guys need before I tell you anything is Chaotic Transformation. In order to make Demon Hunter work right, whether it's for PvP or for PvE, you need Chaotic Transformation. You need this in either your head, your shoulder, or your chest, and you need to only have one of these, all right? Demon's Bite deals 1,332 additional damage. When you activate Metamorphosis, the cooldown of I-Beam and Blade Dance is immediately reset. So you I-Beam, you turn into meta, all right? You then will Blade Dance so that you get your bleed that goes on to them, and then you would hit Metamorphosis, and then you would instantly cast I-Beam again, and then Blade Dance again, because by then your Blade Dance dot will be back up so that you can refresh the Blade dot on them. So basically running this, you get 2 Blade Dances, you get 2 I-Beams, and you could I-Beam back to back with this. Now, the reason why this is so important, guys, is because you're going to be pairing this with Furious Gaze. When I-Beam fully finishes channeling, your haste is increased by 1109 for 12 seconds. You could also pair this with Eyes of Rage. I-Beam deals an additional 2540 damage. Consuming a soul fragment reduces the cooldown of I-Beam by 0.7 seconds. So what Eyes of Rage does, guys, is every time that you consume a soul fragment, it cools down your I-Beam. So every time you kill an ad in PVE, it cools down your I-Beam. So if you have 10 or 15 ads right there and they're pulled up real quick, tight enough, and you're killing them fast enough, you can almost I-Beam back to back to back if you have 1 or 2 of these in your head, shoulder, or your chest, all right? Another thing that you really want to have in here, guys, is going to be Overwhelming Power. That is a great miner for your traits. You want to have at least 1 Revolving Blades. The reason you want 1 Revolving Blades is because you want to pair it with your Trail of Ruin so that the final slash of your blade dance puts a bleed on your target for 11,000, and it bleeds that 11,000 out over 4 seconds. The first hit of your blade dance does an extra 29,000 and reduces the fury cost by 20. All right, and then if you pair that with Revolving Blades, it will reduce the fury cost a further 3 points for every enemy you hit. So theoretically, if you got 10 enemies out there, that's an extra 30 fury. Plus the first blood's minus 20, you actually might generate more fury every time you spend this than what it costs, which means that you could use Chaos Strike more. Every time that you use Chaos Strike, you have a chance to break off a soul fragment from your enemy. Bursting Blades, guys, is going to be something that you want to stack. Every 1.5 seconds, it increases the damage of your Chaos Strike by 309. So when you are not hitting ads, all right, or you are in a timed out in your rotation and you do get to hit that enemy with Chaos Strike, if you have this stacked 3 times and you're running PvP, you will hurt that fucking guy pretty damn bad. Excuse my language, but yeah, Thirsting Blades is really, really strong. Gut Ripper is another good performer, especially on low targets. Man, this thing right here will do some freaking pretty good damage. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. And for like the inner rings and stuff like that, you know, like you could run Gut Ripper, you could run, you know, like Bulwark of the Masses, you could run Elemental Whirl. It's really up to you. Azerite Goobles, whatever you think it is going to be, depending on what it is. Again, it's going to be what piece of gear is higher for you, what is unlocked that's in that gear. But absolutely, shoot for 1 or 2 Furious Gazes. All right, you absolutely have to have 1 Chaotic Transformation in your head, shoulder, or your chest, and then you want to have at least 1 or 2 Eyes of Rage. And then for your second or your first ring, depending on the gear, you guys want to have 1 or 2 Thirsting Blades. So having a Thirsting Blades with 1 Chaotic Transformation, 1 Revolving Blades, Eyes of Rage, and Furious Gaze, those are what you want to have, so that every time you're done casting your I-Beam, you get a massive haste increase, all right? And then after that haste is done, then you're going to Metamorphosis, I-Beam again, get another haste increase benefit. If you are running, if you guys want to know right now what the best AZ talents and traits or AZ traits are for your neck, if you are running PvP, hands down, no matter what, Breath of the Dying is awesome. If you guys watched my first video that I did on this is when this was still a green talent for me, all right, and it was outdoing a rank 3 Crucible of Flame, or pairing with it, and it's level 1. So rank 3 Breath of the Dying, if you can get it, it is awesome. Burn your target with a Bolt of Azerite, dealing 6,400 fire damage. If the target has less than 20% health, it acts as an execute. If it has more than 80% health, the cooldown is reduced by 30 seconds, so every 15 seconds you could use this trait. If Reaping Flame kills an enemy, its cooldown is lowered to 5 seconds, and then it deals 100% increased damage on its next use. So if you're running 2s or 3s and you see a little tendril pop out, you could hit it with your Breath of the Dying, and the next target that you hit, it's going to have 100% increased damage, and it's going to crit on them, and you're going to set up for a really good mollywop and a kill after that. So if you're playing 2s or 3s and you're using this talent or trait, be looking for the little tendril guy to pop up so that you can spam it on it and get that crit benefit, baby, and then delete your target. If you guys do not have Breath of the Dying, you can run Crucible of Flame. Crucible of Flame is awesome. It does work really well, guys, with Fell Eruption, because it's range. Anything that you can do from range, if you are getting locked out or frozen from a target or something like that, it's going to help you. Plus, it'll also heal you or heal your partner or whatever it is that you use it on. So it'll be, you could use it as a heal on you or anybody that's in your party, or you can use it on an enemy. All right, the only downfall is it takes about 1.5 minutes for it to rank up to its 3rd charge, but you know, every 30 seconds you get to use it. When Breath of the Dying is so much stronger of a talent single target, I would definitely recommend this. Now, if you are running big boy ads and you're cleaving down a lot of stuff, if you're raiding even, you could use Focusing Iris. All right, and what you would do here with this, guys, is I'll trade out my Breath of the Dying right now for this. We'll put this one in here, and then we'll put my Breath of the Dying. Let's see here, where Crucible is, we'll get rid of Crucible and put that in there. For your miners, guys, you definitely want to have either Vision of Perfection, so that every time you activate meta, you heal for an extra 5%, and it reduces the cooldown of your metamorphosis by 25%. It also will increase your burst by 105. If you're not running Breath of the Dying in your major, run it as a miner, because under 20%, this thing will go off like crazy, dude. It also will increase your corruption resistance by 10, so it's really, really good talent to have. Another good one that you could have is Blood of the Enemy from the miner from that, or Focusing Iris's miner is a good one. Condensed Life Force, if you have a level 3, rank 3 on this is really good. Memory of Lucid Dreams, if you have the rank 3 on this, the miner that's on that is really good. Again, guys, it depends on which one that you have, what is ranked up, depending on what it is. Now, again, going into what Focusing Iris does, what you guys are going to do is just get you a little bit of fury. You're going to I-beam. After your I-beam, you're just going to cast your Azerite beam, and you can see right there how fast of a channel that was. And that's going to be from the haste benefit that we got from our Furious Gaze that kicked in from our head, shoulder, or chest Azerite trait, all right? And that increased your haste, which makes Focusing Iris cast super fast. So you can run this in PvP. Just know that you are at risk to get kicked by either your I-beam, which is not going to engage the Furious Gaze benefit that you're going to get from your haste benefit. So you're not going to be able to cast your Focusing Iris as fast. So again, if you're running PvP, I would recommend definitely running Breath of the Dying instead of Focusing Iris for single target. Now, if you guys want to get in to corruption gear for single target, if you are raiding, guys, Infinite Stars, it's going to be the best thing that you could possibly get. All right, you could see right, let's see, I have this one right here is a rank 3. So here's a rank 3. If your cloak is high enough, guys, so here's how the cloak works. Once you get it to 15, it's item level 500. And then it gets a corruption resistance after level 15, or when you're at level 15, up to a maximum of 125. So every time you complete a Horrific Visions full clear, you're going to be able to increase the corruption resistance by 3 points, up to a maximum of 125. Right now, I only have 56 corruption resistance on mine, all right? So I can run a rank 3 and a rank 2 corruption gear together, and that gives me about 59 points of corruption when I'm raiding. So raiding with 59 is fine, okay, because there's so much heals and everything that's going on. If you're proccing, you know, Grand Illusions, things from beyond and stuff like that that's on you, it's all right. You're a demon hunter, you can get in and out of stuff. You can even kite the hell out of some of them things from beyond a lot, all right? But running a rank 2 and a rank 3 Infinite Stars, you can see right here, here's a rank 3 on my bracers and then a rank 2 together, and that gives me 59 corruption total. This thing right here, man, rating, it's my number one by far, millions and millions ahead of everything else, because you're in that boss fight for so long. Infinite Stars, dude, is just racking up crazy amounts of damage. Now, another thing that a lot of people don't know about is going to be Gushing Wound. If you guys are lucky enough to come across a rank 3, I only have a rank 1 on this guy. I have different rank 3s on other characters, but for Demon Hunter, Gushing Wound, since they have nerfed Infinite Stars and the Tendril really in PvP, Gushing Wound, guys, is like the secret silent guy that nobody's really talked about a lot, but I'm letting it out right now, man. Yeah, it does a lot. Rank 3 Gushing Wound, single target, PvP, even PVE. Yeah, this thing is crazy. Yeah, it'll yeah, sorry if I told on some people. Yeah, But you got to get one, right? It's a pretty rare one to get. I haven't seen a lot of them, especially with all the gear that I've seen that's dropped in. I'll just let you see in my bags here how much different pieces of gear that I have. So this is just from saving up stuff over the last few weeks, just seeing, you know, the different kind of gear sets that I can make from different things. And yeah, man, I haven't seen a lot of the gushing wounds. So just to give you an instance, they're pretty rare. So if you get one, kind of a rank 3, even not a rank 1 or a rank 2, if you get a rank 3 gushing wound, consider yourself lucky and use it. Definitely use it. Now, another thing that is good, guys, is going to be if you're running mythic keys. Mythic keys, guys, you can run rank 3 and rank 2 Twilight Devastation. I'll show you right here, like on these boots, I run, here is, yeah, so these boots is a rank 2, or rank 1, I mean, and then these gloves is a rank 3, and then I'll change out this. So now this here will give me, let me get into these pants here. All right, so now running mythic keys, guys, staying under 40 will help you not proc grand illusions and things from beyond. All right, if you hit 40 corruption, you are at risk to proc a thing from beyond, dude, and that thing will kill you, especially in bad weeks for running keys. It's already going to be hard enough on your tanks and your old heals there, man. So don't be running with 40 corruption in there. Don't be doing it. Not as a demon hunter. Don't do it. Keep it under 40. If you could even get it under 20, dude, and be 19, that's really what you want to go for. So just run one piece. But if you're a pretty good guy and you could put off, you know, if you could sustain what's going on and you know what's going on, stay under 40 and run. So you could run a rank 1 Twilight Devastation and a rank 3 Twilight Devastation, or a rank 2 depending on how much corruption resistance again you got, as long as you're under 40 for mythic keys. And buddy, Twilight Devastation does so much AoE damage, it is crazy. You'll be in there doing hundreds of thousands, especially if you proc off Twilight Devastation right when you go to hit and add, like the very first pull, and Twilight Devastation goes over them. Holy crap, buddy, will you pull hundreds of thousands of DPS, especially with a rank 3 and a rank 1, or a rank 3 and a rank 2, or imagine 2 rank 3s, or 3 rank 3 Twilight Devastations together because you have enough corruption resistance. I'm talking about big boy DPS right there, man. So, again, we'll cover this real quick. Single target, guys, max target. If you are raiding Infinite Stars and the Tendril, all right? Rank 3 Infinite Stars, rank 3 Tendril, rank 3 and a rank 2 Infinite Stars if you're raiding, whatever like that. If you are running keys, Twilight Devastation is going to be by far the best thing. It doesn't matter if it's a necrotic week or a bolstering week or whatever. Just stop DPS at 2 or 3, dude. Back down of it because you're going to be running high enough keys. You're going to want Twilight Devastation damage. And you're gonna, everybody runs it anyways. It's kind of the go-to in Mythic. There you go. By the time that you would get Infinite Stars to go off enough times for it to be a valued choice, the boss would already be dead in Mythic, and then you would be moving on to the next pack of ads. That's why in raiding, the boss fight is so long and you're on that one target. Infinite Stars damage is able to proc up and gain so much over the course of time because it stacks over the time as the Infinite Stars are hitting the boss. It's not the case when you're running Mythic. Twilight Devastation, you want as much burst damage as you can get, so running bursty class, bursty setups as fast as you can get, getting I-Beam the cooldown as much as you can is the best for Mythic Keystones. And oddly enough, that build that you're going to run for Mythic Keystones is going to be the same thing that you're going to run for PvP, but you're going to be changing the Twilight Devastation up for AoE for single target here. So this is kind of where you're going to mesh the raiding single target Infinite Stars damage. Because, don't get me wrong, if you're running Mythic Keystones and you go to run these numbers, Twilight Devastation is going to be your #1 damage no matter what out of your character. If you go to run Infinite Stars, the way that it's nerfed right now, you have to be in a raid fight with a boss for it to actually matter and proc and have that huge length of fight. If you're running PvP, Infinite Stars, you want it to proc, even if it goes off only twice during the twos match that you're fighting because it was quick. It's going to hurt them really bad. Another thing that's going to hurt them that you could pair Infinite Stars with, guys, is the Tendril. So run like your Tendril here. Let's see. All right, so you can run like your Mind Flay Tendril. So you run a Mind Flay Tendril and an Infinite Stars Tendril. man, let me tell you, that dude right there, he's hurt. But mind you, you also have to be able to stay under 20 corruption. Because if you are running 2s or 3s and you're running arena and you have over 20 corruption and say you get a rogue and you proc a little ring right there, you'll kill yourself. You don't need a Grand Delusions or a thing from beyond. That eyeball will kill you because you have the mage that's probably hitting you, that's running with the rogue. The rogue is killing you. And if it's a disc priest, he's casting on you too, dude. And then you have the eyeball that you got to deal with. You're definitely dead. So you want to stay under 20 corruption in 2s and 3s. You definitely want to run only, like, you know, if you have a rank 3 tendril, run a rank 3 tendril. If you have a rank 3 infinite stars, run a rank 3 infinite stars. If you have a rank 3 gushing wound, run a rank 3 gushing wound then, all right? Because the gushing wound is going to be better than the infinite star or the tendril by far, because you don't proc a tendril if you don't have a tendril, so you can't give somebody else the opportunity that's running Reaping Flames the opportunity to get that crit benefit off of it, all right? And if you're running this, the bleed, man, it's super strong. It's really, really strong. It's probably the best low-key talent for Demon Hunter that nobody really knows about is Gushing Wound, dude. This thing's fucking OP. No, the tendril is great because it puts a slow on them and it does a lot of damage over the course of time. But yeah, this is where it's at, man. I'm telling you, rank 3 Gushing Wound, Demon Hunter. Check it out, guys, if you guys can get it. If you guys want to know what the best in slot trinkets are, you definitely want to get an Ash Veins Razor Coral. A 430 Ash Veins Razor Coral is going to be better than any 460 trinket that's out there that's not Ash Veins Razor Coral. Just to give you an idea of how good this trinket actually really is. It's by far the best single target DPS that you could absolutely get. Another one that you guys could run is Harlan's Loaded Dice. If you try to get the Humming Black Dragon Scale from Raytheon in the raid, it's cool because you get wings, but that's it. It's not a really good trinket for you. It's really low. If you sim it anywhere, it's really low. A good AoE trinket is Torment in a Jar. That's a really good one for you to get. But again, best in slot is going to be Ash Veins Razor Coral. Harlan's Loaded Dice is probably a close second or third. That's right in behind Ash Veins Razor Coral. And then Torment in a Jar is right probably behind Harlan's Loaded Dice. So those are like your 1, 2, and 3 trinkets that you want to get for PvP or for Mythic Plus. Definitely. Let's see here. So that is going to be basically it for everything. That is our talents. That's our traits. That's everything, boys. That's everything. That's PvP. That's running single target. That's running max DPS here. That's running max DPS over there. This is the best builds that you could possibly get. Right. Now, as far as single target guys goes, if you're raiding Infinite Stars, the Tendril, and then the secret that nobody really knows about is going to be Gushing Wound. And if you can get a rank 3 Gushing Wound, run that. It's going to be better than any of the other ones by far for single target, PvP, PVE, raiding, any of that stuff. Unless you are raiding, it's going to be a toss-up. You're going to have to let me know down below, guys. Does a rank 3 Gushing Wound equal the damage of rank 3 stars? Because I don't have a rank 3 Gushing Wound on this guy, so I can't run the numbers on it. But would a rank 3 Gushing Wound equal the same kind of numbers that a rank 3 Infinite Stars does in raiding? You guys let me know down below. Other people will read that, and you'll help them out, because that'll answer a question that they probably have too. Even though you guys are using Simulate, if you're not, please use Simulation Craft, the add-on, and get raid. Use that add-on Simulation Craft in conjunction with RaidBots. Go to raidbots.com and you could sim your character in raid time, real time. You could do the best talents, traits, any piece of gear that you have that's on your character. So if you have 2 helmets and you don't know which one's better, put the 2 different, fill them up with AZ traits, and then go to use Simulation Craft. What you do from there is type in /simc. It'll bring up a box like this. You'll hit Control and C to copy it. You'll hit OK, and then you're going to go to raidbots.com, which is what I'll bring up right now. And when you bring up raidbots.com, guys, it looks like this. This will show you your top gear. your top talents. You can do stat weight, stat generation. Now after you would copy that information from that add-on, you just go into here, hit right click and paste it, or hit Control V to paste. Either or, it doesn't matter, and then it'll bring up everything that was loaded from your character in real time that you just copied from that add-on. You just brought it over to this website, and it'll tell you what shoulders that you could test back and forth. So if I wanted to test this and this, this and this, these shoulders versus this helmet versus this helmet. If I wanted to know what pair of bracers that I had was the best single target. If I wanted to know what pair of pants that I had was the best pants, the best belt that I had, the best gloves. As you guys could see, I have a lot of gear. Coming here and using this, instead of me having to go and crunch all these numbers one by one for whatever trinket it is, whatever pair of pants or boots or whatever, this website helps me. It tells me, I'm telling you guys to use it, I use it, everybody else uses it. But also, I'm going to tell you this as a disclaimer, this may tell you in rating, hey, this is your best, but that does not mean that this is going to be your best for PvP. There's going to be things that proc off and burst in PvP that is going to be better for you than what, you know, some things are going to be for in there. So even though you might get a certain number reading in there for single target from raid bots, keep that in mind, you know, that is saying that you play everything right. You don't miss a spell. You don't miss a rotation. You're going to hit that sustained amount of number. That's what raid bots would tell you. That'll tell you where you could be if you play everything to the optimum level. All right. PvP, everything changes on the fly, so you know, take that with a grain of salt. That's why I'm telling you what AZ talents did traits to use, what different types of stuff to run for single target, what type of stuff is better for different types of things. If this has helped you guys, if this has done anything for you, if you guys learned anything at all right, there is different guides that I have that are on my channel, guys, for Havoc, that'll go into like all the macros, all the beginner stuff, different things that'll take you through different paces with Havoc or with Vengeance. I play different games, dude. Apex Legends, World of Warcraft, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Escape from Tarkov. I do a little bit of everything. I make guides for like Windows 10, all kinds of reviews. I do this multiple times a week, guys, and I'm telling you, 2020 is being awesome. You guys are all amazing. But I've noticed one thing. Over 90% of my traffic to my channel, you guys aren't subscribed. A lot of you are all returning viewers, but you haven't went and clicked that button. So do me a favor, man. I take my time out to help you guys. I get a lot of enjoyment out of doing this, man. I get a kick out of my community. You guys are all great. Please leave me some comments below if this helped you out or if it didn't help you out. Tell me off and tell me the reasons that I'm wrong, and we can go at it in a typing contest and hit enter. But yeah, man, I'm Lockouts. Please click the little bell, subscribe, you know, help a fellow out. Peace.
Take your mouse and click the button, won't you subscribe to me? Lockouts providing the content that you see. I'm visually stimulating your mind. One minute at a time.